Welcome back. This is What's Up, Doc, and we have our VIP guest today. Can't wait! We have Brian Perry. We also expected Courtney, the producer, but she had big business today and couldn't make it.
She's actually dialed into all the wrapping up and doing the edits and getting into post-production right away because we want to get this thing out there pretty quick.
Yeah, and that's the movie that we'll be talking about on the second segment. Right now, we have to get into my sponsors, and of course, my bigger sponsor right here is Wainema Ranch, and of course, I've talked about that. And guess what? All my paperwork is in my briefcase, is in my Escalade, the other car, and forgot to bring it today. So we're going to go without visual effect. Okay, we have Wainema Ranch. Okay, how wonderful facility. It's a sanctuary for wild horses, and of course this is a 24/7 job for Eddie and Shari, and God bless them, because it takes a special person to be able to care and feed those many animals. And it could be 50, it could be 100, it could be a couple hundred out there, and it's absolutely fantastic at what they do. And so if you have an inkling to go ahead and volunteer, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go on WaineMaRanch.com. All right, WaineMaRanch.com, and you'll be go back to the volunteer section there. Go ahead and click on, and then you can read how you can be a volunteer. And believe me, they're going to love you coming out and helping out. You can imagine that there's quite a bit of work to be done, and let's be able to help them if we can. If you enjoy that type of work, please, it's very, very rewarding. I know, because I've had 7 horses and I cared for them for how many years? 15 years. It's just absolutely a wonderful experience for me. All right, and also go back and click on if you care to donate. If you care to donate a little bit, that's fine too. Everything's appreciated, and everything goes 100% to the care and feeding of those wild Mustangs. How wonderful is that? I have wild Mustangs come by the house. I live in Virginia City, and about once a week, maybe every couple of weeks, there'll be 5, 6, 7 head of horses just kind of like walking by and saying howdy. and I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. All right. So let's move on to the Great Basin Magazine. All right, Great Basin Magazine. That's Cameron Hawkins, publisher. All right, if you go to page 4748, I'm back there, and you can read a little bit about me if you like. There's awards for the couple of films that Jesse James the Lady, that's Best Picture, and then we have Evil Twin, The Reckoning. We got awards for that too, and then with that. I got Best Director, and I got Best Producer and Best Script. So I got seven credits. How cool is that? All right. So if you want to read about that, go to Great Basin Highway. All right, and I'll be on page 4748. And also very new is Virginia City Insider, another new magazine. And again, Cameron Hawkins is involved with that. He's publisher, and this is going to be cool. I obviously I live there, and this is wonderful to have our own magazine now. And I'm on the 2 back pages of that magazine. So again, if you want to read a little bit about me, you certainly can. And it doesn't get into depth, but what does get into depth is the book. All right, look at here. I have my own book. How cool is that? Doc Durden, a living legend, living his dream. And let me tell you, I do. I live my dream every single day. I just love living in Virginia City. That town was built for me, I'm sure, because there's no other town in America that I would rather be than Virginia City. All right. Sandy Lene, all right, Nevada's author, right there. Sandy Lene. And so go to my webpage, docdurden.com. All right, and you'll be able to see how you can purchase that book. All right, it's cool reading. Look! I love it. All right, we're going to break here.
Over here, but I was more entertained with you.
Yeah. All right, we're going to breaks, and I want you to come back because Brian Perry in the house. All right, come on back. All right, we're back, and this is What's Up, Doc. All right, and I'm host Doc Durden, and yep, you all know who's in the house. We have Brian Perry in the house. Brian, thank you for being here. You're absolutely, you are the town favorite, I'm telling you. Or maybe the internet favorite.
Maybe I'm the exhausted favorite.
Well, you are, because you've been busy for the last 3 or 4 days that I know of, because I was on location with you in Virginia City at the Crown, what was it, the Crown Mill.
That mill up there, yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's a monster. Yeah.
First time I've ever been in there. It's 3 times bigger than the mill that's next to my studio, which is let's see here. It's on F Street, 395 F Street, and Outlaw Dave runs that, and as a working. This one here is a working mill, and you need to go out because it's cool. But the one I was with Brian on Friday is absolutely 3 times bigger. It's just a massive mill. So Brian, tell me. Tell your fans and my fans what's coming up and what you've been doing.
This weekend when we were up there, I had the honor of producing and actually being a small role in this project for a local film group that is doing a lot of great things. The director, Courtney, invited me about a year and a half ago to come on as a producer for a project called The Nest. And this project is, she's a veteran. Our director of photography is a veteran. It's women-led and a very powerful project with some of our local talent that when this thing comes out, I think that people are going to be surprised at the caliber of work that's coming out of Reno these days. And she's actually leading the way in that regard, and I'm super proud to be a part of it. So this project was about a woman, a hit woman, I don't even know how to say that correctly, right? But anyway, she's a hired gun, and it kind of takes through the story and some moral conflicts and some other things like that. But we had such a good time up there. That mill, I'm thinking horror movie next. That place, I mean, don't play hide and seek in there, man. You might not come out.
Yeah.
And it's Virginia City, so you got all them ghost stories and all that other stuff going on, so you never know, right? But that was a great location. We did 2.5 days there. We did another half-day shoot here in Reno. When this thing comes out, of course, you'll be made aware of that, be able to see. It's going to be, this was a pilot that we were shooting, a proof of concept pilot that we'll get out there into some of the film festivals and specifically to pilots, and then see if we can't do some distribution on that, try to find somebody who's willing to jump in and participate to get this thing to where because we already have, there's multiple episodes already written. It's good to go, and it's strong. It's fun. It's a psycho thriller, but has a little bit of humor in it as well. So that's what that one was. As far as what's been going on, I just came back from LA about a month ago filming. Basically, it's an extended PSA about the negative impact of either drinking and driving, texting and driving, the distraction.
Okay, now when you say PSA, help us out with that.
So it's a public service announcement, but it was, the director had invited me down there to participate in that, but for him, it was a very personal thing because the scenario in which it was written and the way that we did it was very much about a situation that he was in where he lost a friend. He had just had a friend leave him after being in a bar, and that friend didn't come home. And it was because he was distracted in doing certain things. And so it addresses that, but it's something that is going to be translated into multiple languages and be seen all over the world. So I was proud to be a part of that one. I'm also, after we get out of here today, I got to hop on a call, like literally as soon as we get done. My producing partner down in LA, Tony Boldy, we're working on a project called The Painter, and it's man, I don't even know how to say it. Silence of the Lamb-esque psycho thriller about a serial killer in the Bay Area, and it's pretty powerful. It's pretty creepy, and so we're gonna start jumping into that.
Now, is that going to be filmed in Southern California?
No, that would be actually in Northern California, in the Bay Area.
In the Bay Area.
We got a couple of Bay Area director and some other people. So we're in the early stages, but this one's going to ramp up pretty quick because it's pretty strong. It's got a lot of coverage, and coverage in the business means people have looked at it, gone through it, sort of filtered out, made creative changes so that it would be strong, so it would hit those buttons that you need to hit in order for distribution and for the theatrical releases and things like that. So we got that one going on, and we are still working on a project that we talked about, I think last time I was in here, Marriage for the Birds, that we were in cahoots with Gary Marshall before he passed away. We're still working on that. We've kind of let things sort of settle in that regard just because of his passing, and now we're ramping that back up, and we should be getting some movement on that feature film in the next couple months, actually.
I'd like to tell people that when we're talking movies here with Brian, we're talking. Well, he spent I don't know how many years in Hollywood. All right, so he's like the who's who. As far as Hollywood goes, he's worked with him. He's been there. However, it's slowed up with the COVID thing, obviously, right. And we're doing a lot more of local stuff. But these are all heavy hitters that he's involved with, as far as the producers, as far as the local one in Virginia City. I was there Friday and met the cast and crew on that, and of course the camera. The camera that they had, all right, I could probably sell my house and probably get one. All right, it's just a beautiful camera, something that I just dream about, but it's way out of my budget. But it just gives you an idea of the kind of films that Brian is involved in. These are all heavy duty films, and they're definitely worth the price of admission in the event when they do hit. And I'll let y'all know so you can go out and view this. So again, I don't want to take up your time, but go right ahead.
No. The only thing I wanted to say though is that I came back from LA to back to Reno, and actually the business takes such a toll on a person that I actually wanted to get out. But then I saw that how the Reno market was starting to develop and starting to grow, and wanted to help in that growth. And so I'm really about Northern Nevada, about developing the film market here. And so wherever I can help those who are coming up in the film industry, or help those who are coming into the area that need somebody who might have a little bit, a decent handle on what's happening, then we can certainly help with that. I just want to help promote it. I love the art of it. I love the creative process of it. You won't get me directing, but when it comes to the strategies and the producing and just bringing in people and tying people together and making it a great shoot, I like doing that part of it. Of course, I'm in front of the camera as well, but.
Before we get off that, okay. I do want to say that what he says about bringing video and movies to Northern Nevada, and this is what he likes to do. That's absolutely true. When he's shooting in Virginia City, of course he had lunch that he had to supply for the cast and crew and everything, and he's talking to me, and we're trying to I want to help him cater for his cast and crew.
I mean, everybody. So.
Well, the thing of it is that he wasn't going to go outside of Virginia City. He says, no, I want to spend my money in Virginia City. We're here filming in Virginia City, and I want the locals to have my money on and he did. So we happened to spend some time and some money at the Red Dog, sure. And thank you so much for the Red Dog to have all that stuff ready for us when we needed it, and they did on time. And so that's just a little footnote. He's serious of what he's actually saying. It's not just talk; he does it. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be about franchises or anything like that. Like when we did our rap party the other night, we did it at Mario Chewy's down in Midtown, and he participated. He helped us out. We couldn't have. Our budget didn't allow for us to, cover all the costs. He stepped to the plate and said, yeah, I'll help you out. And then we also, put money to it as well. But we had all our cast and crew there for probably 3 hours enjoying the success.
Sure.
After we wrapped, and it was good. Midtown, was getting really busy down there too. Again, it's just about elevating the community. To go outside of that and think that you can, spend money in other places. I'm just not about that. I mean, it's about Reno. If we can utilize them, I know you wanted to help out in every way you could, and I was like, but no, we have to give our patronage to the local people because we're utilizing that area.
Yes,
and it's goodwill.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct, and you do that well. Probably better than anyone that I know. Good for you. So again, the reason why you do spend a lot of time in Reno. Now, you were, was you born here?
I went to high school.
I know you went to Sparks High, yeah.
Sparks High. I came here after 8th grade. I was born in
after 8th grade.
San Joaquin Valley, down by Sacramento. I was born in Sac, raised in a little city called Manteca, and if anybody knows that, I'm sorry.
Oh, Manteca, absolutely.
Yeah. My stepfather used to work at Spreckles Sugar. If anybody knows
Sure.
what that place is.
Sure.
Sugar beet smelling thing.
Yeah.
2 minutes. So I was raised down there. After 8th grade that summer, we moved up here. He actually went to work for one of the mines out here. He was a big machines mechanic, so he was keeping all the kilns and everything going good that way.
Yeah.
And I went to Sparks High, and that was way back. Got out of high school in '83.
'83, yeah. And after high school, you continued on with what?
I went up to Tahoe for a couple of years, lived in North Shore, and then went down to Orange County, got married, moved to Washington State. And I was up in Washington State for quite a few years, raising my family and my kids. Most of my family is still up there. But got my first taste of acting in like 1995. It was an Aaron Spelling project that we were doing up at the Capitol.
Oh, really?
In Washington, yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Yeah. How cool is that?
It was pretty interesting, and I kind of got the bug. I'd already been doing some modeling, some other things, but this one was like in front of the camera, And
now, to talk about modeling, you go to my webpage. Yeah, I know you my Facebook page. On my Facebook page is a professional photo of Brian. It's absolutely. I had one picture, and then I seen that one, and I took that picture, and I put that one on.
Yeah,
it's absolutely
I don't look like that anymore.
Well,
I'm trying to, but I don't look like that.
It's a younger Brian Perry, but absolutely, he deserves it. And so take a look at it. All right, we're going to break. Okay. We're going to break again. All right, come on back. It's getting interesting. We have Brian Perry in the house. Come on back. All right, we're back, and this is What's Up, Doc. All right, I'm host Doc Durden, and my special VIP guest right here in the studio is Brian Perry. All right, and we'll continue on with our conversation with Brian. I just love it. I just absolutely love. I love the guy, and I love what he does. Okay, so we talked about him being in. High school in the Sparks. When he graduated from Sparks, he went to Lake Tahoe and had some stuff there, and then he went to Washington and was in a movie with Aaron Spell.
It was an Aaron Spelling production, actually.
Aaron Spelling production. Okay, and we're going to start right there. All right, Brian, welcome.
I'm back.
Yes.
And somebody keeps calling. It's your spouse.
Yes, I know she.
I like that. Yeah. I just saw her the other day. It was super sweet. Good to see her again while we were filming. We had that when we were finishing up. Stopped by your house. Yeah. And then tried to find you. Yeah. And I went looking for you at
Tommy Knockers.
I went there, and that place, little Michaela was doing her
going
thing.
Crazy.
It was nuts in there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I ended up staying there for a few hours, probably longer than I should have. But I didn't see Doc anywhere. But everybody knew you were there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a good time at Tommy Knockers. But no, the project up in Washington was called the Round Table. And the Capitol in Olympia is very similar to D.C., so they use that as the it was about all the young senators and people, and it was just all the politicking of politics, and so it had that kind of theme to it, and so it was using the campus and the stairs and the offices and stuff like that, and so it was a pilot, and they had reached out to local businesses saying, hey, they need extras to come out here, and you need to be businessmen, and they wanted to have, of course, back then. They were trying to make sure that they were covering their bases with, people of color and making sure they had a great cross over
section, yeah,
different ethnicities, and so I was asked to be in this one little scene, and next thing you know, I'm in like 5 scenes featured and using my car and doing all kinds of stuff. And I was like, wow, I kind of like this, kind of fun. And so I started there, but raised a family. So I really didn't get into full time until I came back down here, as you know, about 9 years ago, and then started going full time out in the Bay Area, LA, all over the place, filming and getting to know the business, which I think is key. And I always try to talk about that with anybody who's trying to come up in this industry, because it'll eat you alive and spit you out, and
you won't even know it.
You
won't even know it.
But that's why it's called show business. If you don't know the business behind it, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why they're doing it this way, or how they're doing it this way, or what they're going to do in the end, and how you can make money at it.
Yeah.
So.
And he's absolutely right. I've done 17 movies in the Hollywood area, and he's absolutely right. You're in, you're out, and they don't care. However, with my production, Foothill Productions and everything, all my cast members, they know that I love them, and I take my time with them and make sure that they get their scenes right and the whole thing. And that's the reason why, as an independent, the reason why we're doing so good. And I just love my cast members, and most of them are from Virginia City, and I get a couple every year when I start production. I get a few more new cast members, and I absolutely love that. All right,
it's a very unique thing that you do. You have a captive, city. You have your studio right there, and it's really easy if it's who you really are anyway. Now you just gotta learn the art of acting and figure out how to do your lines, things like that. But I always tell people, this is not costume. This is real life.
Yes.
And Virginia City is a perfect spot for that.
It is, and I'm so blessed to be not only living in Virginia City, as having that community supporting me for the most part, and how wonderful is that? And I just absolutely love it, and it gives me goosebumps even thinking about it. You, my friend, are so active and it's so constant. But then again, I understand why, because one, you're one hell of a guy. You do what you say you're going to do, and you have a great look. So you're very, very handsome man. So the camera absolutely loves you. Has that helped you along the way?
Helped and hindered.
Both. I understand.
It's a blessing and a curse. The nice thing about it is that when certain people are really moving in Hollywood, and I resemble them, people start trying to cast me in certain things just because of that association, so that has helped. And as old as I feel, evidently I'm not looking as old as I am, so it helps as well as the range of character that I can play. And so it's helped. It's definitely helped. But my energy comes from, my mom is just a go-getter. She's still going and getting, and I'm just inspired by anybody willing to take a risk on anything that they dream of doing, because that's what, we have one life, and we are, if we're held back by people telling us that we can't, I'll tell you 100 reasons why we can, and we'll make it happen. Because nobody should tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do or how they should do it. And I'll be your biggest advocate, even if it's not something that is near and dear to me. I'll 100% support you, and that's why I say I'm always for the underdog. So give us a small little film crew that people say can't do it.
Yeah,
and we'll go do it.
Exactly right. There's nothing you can't do. All right. Now there is a budget. All right. You may be able to do it in a small way, but the fact is you can get it done. And I belong to a movie maker forum group, and we have some beginners there, and then we have some expertise there too. We have some people that have some big cameras and very expensive cameras, and but we have the whole genre there, and of course I try and tell the people on the apprentice side is that you don't need the big cameras. You can go down and buy a $600 4K movie camera and do some good stuff with it, and if you can't do with that, you can do some good stuff. Exactly. I was just going to pull that. Yeah. You can do some good stuff right here with this cell phone. You really can. And there was Hollywood did a sitcom. At least I know of one week they did a sitcom on just cell phones. And I don't know how many cell phones they used, but I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't tell the difference.
There's a lot of contests out there right now, seeing who can do, these phones. I mean, the cameras are incredible. And if you're here in the local area, Northern Nevada area, and you're not sure what to do, but you want to get into acting, you want to get into filmmaking, you want to do those types of things. Justine Reyes down there at Take Two Performance Studio. I mean, she's the one here in town that really can help.
Okay, now slow that down. Go back and slow that down. Who that was?
Justine Reyes. She
All right.
has it's called Take Two Performance Studio, and it's for young and old who want to come in and learn how to act, learn how to get into the business. She'll really take you under her wings and show you how to do it. She's spent a lot of time in LA, done a lot of, I mean, you see her on network shows back in the day and stuff like that. I mean, she's been around, and she's she's a pretty big deal here in town. She'll say no, she's not, but I'll say she is.
Yeah.
As far as she's the only game here that really can help you transition from our small community down into LA.
Is there a cost involved with that?
There's always costs involved, but her classes, she works really, really hard to make it affordable for those who are serious.
Yes.
I mean, if you just want to go out there and play and just have some fun, bring your A game if you really want to do something with her, because she's putting people out there, people that are on network shows now, so she's the one. So if you're in town in Reno area, Carson, she's the one. Welcome, Justine.
Have you spent some time with her?
I go over there and I'll watch some of the classes.
Okay.
I'll sit in on some of them. I'll get to play, with some of the actors. But a lot of times what we're ended up doing over at her place is table reads. She's really proactive in allowing, local film community to come in there. She has enough space where those things can happen in a quiet setting. A table read is when you have all your cast around and you go through your entire script and you're reading through it and you're acting it out and you're practicing and getting ready before you go in front of the camera. So, it's just a good spot to go to.
Yeah. It's it's good to have a table read, and especially if you're not working and you have that time available. During my productions, we don't have a table read because we have people that work during the day, and it's very, very time consuming to actually do a movie. And I don't have. I'm not privy to all that time for all those people that I have coming on the set. So what I do know that I'm fortunate that I know everybody that I give a.
Usually, in this community of acting and making movies, 99% of us have other jobs. 99% of us are doing other things that actually pay the bills, because this is one of the things that's our passion. And eventually, you try to get to that next level, but. It's like any dream. I mean, how many people become NFL football players? How many people become NBA stars? So
Sure.
it's that thing. But if it's not your passion, keep going after, keep doing it.
Right.
There are ways to generate an income, become a working actor, become a working director, producer. But we all work.
Okay, now that's very interesting what you're just saying right there. To where it actually pays a little bit. It may not be your full-time job, right. but it's extra income. And how does one do that?
Get yourself with the right skill set first. So that's where you go to take those classes.
Okay.
And then put yourself in front of people who actually are doing things that actually have small budgets, medium budgets, large budgets, and then go for it. Initially you'll do a lot of things that are in trade for free, but you got to get out of that and start going. Okay, at least if it's $100 a day or $500 a day, whatever it's going to be, and start going down that path.
Yeah, and there are. And there are production companies that do pay. Unfortunately, with Foothill Productions, we have a limited budget. But then again, if we do happen to make it and the film sells, guess what? Everybody gets paid. I love that. All right, we're going to break. All right, come on back. All right, we're in that last segment already. Okay, come on back. We have Brian Perry in the house. We're back. Thanks. This is What's Up, Doc, and I'm host Doc Durden. And in the house, we have Brian Perry. What an interesting hour this has so far. I'm learning a lot, and he's connected to Hollywood. Let me tell you, he spent most of his life down there in Southern California and School of Hard Knocks, and he learned, and now he's up here in Northern California doing the same, helping out the area, Reno, and also he's finishing up in Virginia City. He was at one of the stamping mills last weekend, and I happened to be there on the set, and I happened to witness the camera that they're using. I loved it. I'm telling you, I loved it. I want one. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to, sell my house to buy one. But it just gives you an idea of the magnitude of when Brian's on the set and he's doing a movie. He's with some of the best people. And another thing I did is I met his wife too. How wonderful! Soon to be fiance. Excuse me, his fiance, and how wonderful she is. We had a good time. All right, so before I forget, I want to talk a little bit about that engagement, Brian, that I saw on your page a week or two ago.
Wow, I just got embarrassed all the time because I know she's listening right now.
Oh, how wonderful! Howdy.
And actually, she's actually from the last 7-8 years from Burbank, but from South Shore. But she was down in LA. She's an actress and a model and does all kinds of stuff too. But yeah, we have spent a lot of time together over the last almost a year now. Well, maybe 9 months or so, and it just fits. Everything fits. Everything's perfect. The other about a month ago, she got a call from a photographer up in Truckee that saw some of her work and said, hey, she'd like to do a shoot with her. So she was inviting her out to do a shoot, and so Adria, of course, says, hey, well, I got my boyfriend, and if you want to do couple shoots, if you want to do some of this, some of that, and the girl was like, yeah, come on up. And so as soon as she said that to me, I went and circumvented her and went to the photographer and said, hey, so I know that you do like corporate things, you do weddings, you do proposals, things like that. I said, how about we actually do an implied engagement, but then I actually convert it to a real one and just go ahead and surprise Adria. So we were out there shooting, and she literally thought it was still fake up until I got on my knee, and then she goes, well, of course I'm gonna marry you. And then she started laughing, and then I said, no, this is real. And then she started like laughing, then crying, then laughing, then crying, then laughing, then crying, and then we finally got to the point where she realized that I was being serious. And so yeah, so on the 3rd we got engaged. And
so wait.
I'm all nervous talking about it. You got me out of my comfort zone.
Yes, I noticed that. And how wonderful. And they're very vulnerable. I loved it. Okay. So the picture that I saw a week ago on your page, that was kind of like a setup with the photographer, right. And this is what we're going to do. And except that Adria actually set up her entire engagement without even knowing it. Because I acted like I didn't even want to do the shoot. But as soon as I found out that situation was going to happen, I said, okay, let's go ahead. And so I emailed and I called the photographer and had a conversation with her. And she's like, oh my gosh, yeah, let me do it for you. And so we were up at Donner Lake. And Donner Lake? Drives around Truckee?
Yeah. Outside Truckee. Right. She was shooting Adria and doing all the things that she wanted for those other looks. And then I gave her that like wink. And then the photographer said, okay, this is where it's going to happen. And, I got down on my knees and said, I know this is supposed to be a fake engagement. And she's laughing at me going, yeah, so well, of course. And she was being all funny, like, of course I'll marry you, going with it, right? And I said, but it's not fake anymore. I pulled the ring out of my finger or out of my pocket. And she at that point, she's like thinking it's still fake. And I'm like, no, this is real. And then I went into my, why I want to marry her and what she means to me and how important it is and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, so we had a good night.
Now that I love, absolutely love that story. You only got to hear it here, I tell you. That was absolutely wonderful. And I seen that and I go, oh boy, that's a good shot. And but everything was all set up as a photo shoot, and it happened to be the real thing. And then you had so that continued. You did.
We did this. We finished out the shoot, and then And since then, now we've actually selected our destination wedding out in the Virgin Islands. And so you're more than welcome to come, Doc, if you want to come out to.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, if I could afford to go, that's the place. How wonderful. Virgin Islands.
So I've never been, she's never been, and we wanted to pick a spot where neither of us have been. And so we picked that, and we said, let's go out there. And, we have so much, so many people loving and supporting the idea, and families and just a lot of friends. And so we're probably gonna have a few showers, and things like that. But we're just go do it. It went from July 17th to July 16th. The wedding planner couldn't handle the 17th because we wanted to do it right on the beach, and he already had a sunset thing going. So we just found that out just before I got here. We were working on that.
Well, I'm telling you, the phone is actually ringing off the hook. Yeah. It's constantly beeping. He had to shut his phone off because, it's just amazing the response he's getting because of this engagement. And, of course, his wonderful fiance, and she's all that.
I met her up there with, when we stopped by your house the other day.
Yes.
With Deborah. And then I talked to Deborah today, and she was being super sweet. And you know how hard it is sometimes to get the thumbs up from your bride. Yeah. I got it from her, so I'm feeling good.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm there too. She's just a wonderful lady and I met her for what half an hour, and absolutely, I think she's absolutely great. So that's that type of person that very infectious, right? And when you meet them the first time, and she's one of them. She's one of them. How wonderful is that? And that's the same thing with Brian. Actually, this marriage here, that when it comes together, is going to be absolutely awesome because they're both very infectious people like that. You kind of levitate to Brian. He has that personality, and I was able to levitate to his wonderful fiancée, and that was wonderful to be able to talk to her in that particular way. Yeah, she is sweet. Yeah,
she comes from a place. She really wants to serve others, and sometimes to their detriment. And so this time, it's about her, having whatever she wants, and so. And again, I know she's listening, so I ain't gonna get all choked up on your show, but
no,
we literally were.
That's good show. That's good. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Good ratings,
it's good ratings. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And there's children.
She does not.
Oh no. Okay.
But I have mine from my previous marriage.
Okay. And they're like what, 9, 10, 12?
My oldest grandson is gonna be 13.
Okay, 13. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an old guy.
Yeah. Well, no, I seen two young people.
I have 3 children. I have my oldest son, my daughter in the middle, and then my youngest son. Yeah. And then my oldest son and my daughter both have 3 children.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And they're all up in Washington State.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, excellent. I just loving the whole story. I'm loving the whole romance thing, and I know you are too.
Well, it's been I've been down this road before, and I said that if I ever did it again, this would be my last, and it would be the one that I will fight for tooth and nail, and we will succeed at it. And so I come from a place of humility and gratitude with that, and I'm blessed to have her in my life, and we'll just go with that.
Well, you see, with the attitude that you have right there, you can't go wrong. Absolutely can't go wrong. You're going in on the right attitude, and it sounds like she has the right attitude too. At least what I gathered, and so that's 2 positive people that are heading out to the Virgin Islands. All right, and if y'all have plans and you want to head out, guess what? You're welcome.
Well, like I said, it's a destination wedding. If you want to show up, come on out.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you got an invitation.
After a little reception after that, you're on your own.
Yeah. But it gives you an excuse to go to the Virgin Islands. How often do you go down there? All right, it gives you an excuse to be there. How wonderful! All right.
What's great about that is I actually do have a few friends that they're already committed to it. We already have people making arrangements. And
yes.
Like that. So that's fun because we'll have some people around us, and
sure.
And so but we realize that it is a destination, and we realize that some people aren't going to. So we want to we just want to acknowledge anybody who wanted to share their love with us. So.
And coming back from the Virgin Islands, you'll probably be doing some stuff with your lovely wife at that time.
Yeah, well, she's actually has projects in the queue right now as well that she's going to be acting in probably before we leave. So you might have an opportunity to hear about that before we leave. But she's got some things going on in the way of films and some television projects. But her and I together, yeah, we're working on some projects.
Yeah.
I almost was going to be able to act side by side with her this weekend, but that didn't come to fruition. So
All right, we got about a minute and a half. I'm going to give that minute and a half to you.
okay. Anybody who's doing anything in Virginia City or wants to know about Virginia City, absolutely link up with Doc because he's the guy. When I go up there, I say I'm looking for the honorary mayor of Virginia City, and they go, "Oh, you mean Doc?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the guy." But I'm appreciative of being able to be on your show and the projects that we're working on. As you know, you have all access to see what we're doing, come out, and also we appreciate being able to be here and talk about them. The Nest should be a good one. Courtney's really, really good as a director and has a great crew behind her, so we're looking forward to that. And if Marriage for the Birds does get its launch, I want to come back in here and talk for an hour just about that.
Just about that.
Just about that.
All right, and yeah, well, we're going to put you on the calendar for that.
Yeah,
believe me.
let's
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Doc. Thank
All
you.
right. How's that? Now, this is quite a show. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. I'm telling you. We got some interesting stuff from Brian. We kind of embarrassed him a little bit. His color changed.
Yeah,
it went to a little on the red side, and that was good to see. Brian's always in control. All right. And but with his fiance, he's out of control. All right. He's just in love, and I love it. All right. And I think,
that's it.
Is that it? All right. That is it. All right. This is What's Up, Doc? My name is Doc Durden, and Brian Perry was in the house, and I absolutely love the guy. All right.
Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
Now Adra's on here watching Faith. Now she's like, blush, blush, blush. Yes, baby.
Yeah. All right. And live Facebook, and thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate that. And when I get home, I'll go ahead and I'll edit this thing, bring it all together, as y'all know, and should be Tuesday, late afternoon, Tuesday. We'll have this all put together and up on Facebook. All right, so that'll be cool. All right. Again, thanks for tuning in, and Virginia City. I love all you guys, and of course the greater. Of course, we're in Reno Old Town Mall right now at the American Matters studio, and of course the great town of Reno, obviously, and of course we have some of the best entertainment in Reno, and of course South Lake or Lake Tahoe. All right, always a wonderful place to be, and of course we're not going to forget about Carson City. All right, we got them all. All right, adios. Bye.